through, and a lot of you at home I know are going to be very excited to see these faces. It is none other than Johnny Boy and Shogun. Guys, what are you thinking here on this series?
I think it's going to be quite a tough one overall. It's one that we've been sort of deliberating all day on who's actually going to be able to make it through, but both these teams something to prove here.
Yeah, it's a tough one to call. Like Shogun said, they're so equally seated and for a good reason. But I think, you guys have to go with the two of you who voted for Veloce. I think they've probably got the edge in this one.
All right, well, we'll find out if OC has what it takes. Let's kick it off.
See, Renegades have always been such a strange entity overall because you look at their results regionally and not necessarily dominant anymore, but they come through in the clutch. They won 2 Game 7s back in their regional playoffs. Zen came through as regional MVP for the playoffs. Take them to international, though. Zen goes missing, 0 goals for him during the World Championship, and the whole team just didn't seem to be clicking. So it's not necessarily the clutch that they struggle in, it's just international tournaments.
Yeah, you nailed it there. It's really just all about Zen today. Can he play as well as he has online? Because that hasn't been a translation we've seen yet. And on Veloce's side, they've got kind of a similar problem, but it's not so narrowed in on the one player. And it does sound like we're just bashing on Zen here, but he knows himself just how much better he can play than he did at World Championship Season 7. And, I really hope today he can show us some of that because he is a beast mechanically. He's got some insane skills. And hopefully he can get some goals today. That would be the biggest thing. An early goal for Zen. What a difference that would make for this entire day for Renegades.
Absolutely. Veloce on the other side. They had that disappointing time during the playoffs, but they went 7-0. They look good. And they've done something that we don't usually see too often from these sort of teams. When you do have results like that, a lot of teams do sort of cave in. They immediately start looking for a new third.
Yeah.
Instead, they've stuck with this roster. They know it's been working up till recently. There was just that one bad day.
Yeah, we'll see if today is a better day for them. Veloce, we're looking to get all over Zen and the Renegades. Game 1, so important for 2 teams in the middle of the pack here.
Every single game today, best of 5 as we work our way through Group B. Remember, if you lose this, you are not eliminated yet. Double elimination. If you just get yourself through, you reset for tomorrow. Niels Cook trying to get up to that one. It's not a great touch from him, and he's over in the breakout today.
I'm surprised to see that. Yeah, it's usually Octane for Niels, and I think is Kami as well playing the Dominus. That's the first for me, if I'm seeing that correctly. Let's see. Yes, indeed he is. That's not a bad shot, but it's going to be handled well by Veloce. No, it's going to be surprised to see Veloce sitting back and hitting on the counter today. Freaky, very known for his defensive playstyle. Niels as well, likes to just play off the other team's misplays. Flame is the little bit of flair that they've got in that lineup. So we're looking at him to set up some plays, take Renegades out of the game.
Yeah, Flame's going to be the speed-based player for this team. They want to try and get out of defensive situations. He will be the player forward, but Zen's going to come up, and he's not going to get that goal yet. Still searching for his first international in quite some time. Freaky to Niels Cook. Niels Cook. Oh! It was a 0 boost attempt, an awkward angle. Couldn't quite make it.
Yeah, it looked like he had an open net, but I'm pretty sure that the RNG defender was coming in there, so they would have had it covered even if the shot was a bit faster. Gotta say though, I love that pass by Torsos earlier on infield with the underside of the car. It was really good to see.
This is a very offensive Renegade start in our opening 90 seconds. Torsos, good challenge, 0 boost, leaves it for Zen.
Well left.
Niels Cook, back to the middle. Kami, off the top. A Freaky will eventually get rid of it. Torsos' touch is not great. That should allow Veloce a way out.
I wonder if Veloce are identifying how often Renegades are looking for that infield pass, whether it's off the wall or just directly infield. That could be an angle for Veloce to counterattack on if they go for some early interceptions.
Off the backboard again, Niels Cook goes up late. Oh, just off target.
Zen again, he's so close yet so far.
You just want to see it going. He's getting closer and closer. Niels Cook, great tap down. There's going to be no follow-up. Freaky wants to try and hold his line. Doesn't come out the challenge all too well, though, and Torsos can keep moving it.
Yeah, they're trying again to look for those passing plays infield. It's a save by Freaky to shut it down. I'm impressed with the passing of Renegades early on, but they do leave themselves a bit open when they go for them.
But it's a very positive attitude we're seeing from them. It's been rare to see as of late. Freaky won't get there in time. Torsos makes it 1-0.
That cheeky little double touch, or just a little pop actually off the wall. I thought he flew after it, but that's a landing. And I don't think the Veloce defenders saw him reaching that one. It was a weird takeoff, but well played to Torsos. That little chip off the wall is going to bounce back infield for him quite nicely. They do need Torsos to be performing well also. We're talking a lot about Zen today, but Torsos is another player who struggled with LAN performances in the past, and they need him playing his A game.
Yeah, especially as the most experienced international player on this team. Typically, he'd one be looking towards to say he's got to be the leader role, but not usually. Niels Cook can shoot. And, Renegades know exactly what they did wrong there. Gave way too easy of an opportunity. Torsos, another great transition downfield from him. He is wrecking Veloce every time he gets a chance to counterattack.
Yeah, nobody there that time. The spread for RNG was not quite there. Looked like they might be low on boost or something, and that's just going to be a counterattack goal for Veloce. Where on earth are the challenges for Renegades? It's a couple of times now that the ball's just been hanging around and no one is there to contest.
Renegades have just been so focused on holding on to that midfield, getting every single touch they can. I don't think they quite thought that one through. There was no real pressure on them. No reason not to play it back to your backboard, and a really poor touch to leave the goal open for Veloce. Now we're back to 1-1. 2 minutes left on the clock.
Oh, that's almost second goal as well. It's Renegades with the boost issues. Good save, but it's wide open for Niels. He's hit the crossbar. Still there for Freaky. The angle's too tight, though.
This looks to be a very rocked Veloce, Renegades at the moment. They need to get themselves back on form. They start off so well here. Niels Cook plays it out. 2 players available for Renegades. Kami's up. Might want to double tap, but Flame straight back down. Still pressure on. Zen gets it over to Torsos. Torsos for net. Instead, tries to go for a double tap as well. But Veloce can get out.
This engine sound from Flame.
It is awful. It is an absolute travesty.
I was wondering if that was an audio sound, but no, it's just his intentionally doing that. He's probably got his game sound on 0, just forcing everybody else in the lobby to listen to it.
It sounds like, you know, when you put like a playing card in the back wheel of your bike,
yeah,
to try and make it sound bigger. It's kind of like that.
Yeah. Well, luckily we didn't have to listen to it here. Freaky's going to bang another one in, and that's a poor clear for Zen. I mean, he comes out on the wrong end of a 50-50, but he should really be trying to slow down that ball. Doesn't want it bouncing off any walls in that area. And Veloce have been faster to the near post position twice now, and they do take the lead. Renegades just gone to sleep, Shogun.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal opening few minutes, but ever since then, it's going downhill, and it's going downhill very quickly. This first game up in the balance. Flame drops it down, but only if it's Renegades once again. That's a lovely challenge from Niels Cook. Keeps the ball on the other side of the field. Might even go to Provider now. Kami transitions to Torsos. Back to the corner again. Renegades need to try and create something. They need to create now. Kami with a great bump. But Zen's not in position to try and capitalize, and now he's jumped
Flame.
too early. Flame can pop that one in.
It's great
There's a break.
Look at the slow play of Flame in defense. No panic, just gathers the ball and then looks for the flick. On the counter-attack again, Veloce looking pretty good. They've not scored, that's their first counter-attack goal that they've scored, like true counter-attack style. But I do expect to see more of that from them as the series goes on. That is something I've seen from them a lot in the past. Renegades though, they just slowed down. I don't know if they've been having issues with boost. That sometimes is a problem. You know, you just never have full boost on everybody, but they're getting outpaced here to multiple balls. Veloce having a field day.
Yeah, overall, Renegades just haven't managed to refine what was working for them. Crossfield pass. Might be able to make something of this game if that went in, but it's not going to, as the time does tick away. First game of this series is going to go to Veloce as soon as this one hits the ground.
Yeah, Renegades started strong. They had lots of chances. Zen actually had a couple of decent chances, which he wasn't able to put in. And the opening goal from Torsos looked like it might be telling a story of how this game 1 was going to go, because Veloce didn't look that deadly, and they got caught out a few times by those extra touches that Torsos and the Renegades were able to get. Aerial game definitely pretty scary from them. They just slowed down. I don't know what happened. So, like I said, it might have been boost issues. Like sometimes, you know, you just have those games where you can't get 100 boost. You're driving around and there's no 100 boost pads anywhere. And I don't know if that was the issue, because there was a couple of balls that were very, you know, floaty up in the air at both ends of the field, and there's nobody from Renegades challenging them.
So my main issue with Renegades in this one was mostly actually down to that third man positioning. Always very central in the field, like literally on the halfway line, facing towards the field. It means that not only is that player slowed down, but he's got to use boost to try and get back up. And if there is any sort of pace on the way that Veloce try and clear the ball, they can't deal with that. We saw a lot of missed touches from that third man, ended up resulting in an easy net, really, for Veloce, and easy flick as well for Flame. That third man has got to start being more flexible with positioning.
Yeah, the Flame goal, that was
good.
That was class by Flame. He did really well not to panic in that near post position. Very often players will just release the ball too early and end up getting scored on. But he took his time. He realized he had some extra time to just control that and look for the flick. From Renegades' perspective, you know, they're down by 1, so going in for the rush challenge, it does make sense. You've got to create a chance at some point. The game is reaching a conclusion. But if they're tied up, I'd expect a much more conservative approach from Renegades in that situation.
So, can Veloce continue the momentum they just gained?
Great read by Zen there.
That is phenomenal. They've got the ball to the other side of the field. Renegades starting off well. Over to Torso!
Oh!
Off the post, followed, and everyone's missed. Open down the other side of the field. As Kami did hold himself back, but Renegades.
Oh, no.
Opportunity lost for what would have been an absolute worldie of a goal.
I think that was Zen also. He had the wide open net. He just couldn't get there in time. I really hope it was the case that he couldn't reach it and he didn't just whiff it, because that's awful if he did. He's going to be kicking himself later. Still tied up in game 2. What a chance that was, so on the counter-attack. Torsos really coming in clutch for them in offense, creating a lot of chances.
Well, the desk was saying they needed to see Torsos come through. I've liked what I've seen from him mechanically so far. He doesn't look afraid to actually play his game. Just got to try and get the end results for it now.
Yeah, they got it a stay cam. I mean, they had a really good chance there, almost getting the goal directly. Another ball is sitting on the goal line, but they need to calm down. They're getting baited in by Veloce, and what a shot by Freaky. It's beating the player to the ball. Zen, infield pass, gets intercepted. We talked about that earlier. If Veloce are looking out for that, they are going to pick up free goals every now and then. Because Renegades like to commit on infield passes with their last man back. It's risky, but they like to do it.
Just get a feeling that goal like that going in might affect the way Renegades play moving forward as well. Although probably not at this point. When you're a goal down, you've got to go hunting.
I wouldn't hate that, though, if they just be a little bit more careful with their third man.
It seemed like they were almost frustrated that that other play didn't go in. It's like, we deserve to be 1 goal up. We're going to go and get that 1 goal up, and it ended up costing them.
Yeah, it did. Still waiting on that goal for Zen. Is he going to get one? Get one at Worlds just 2 weeks ago. Can he get one today? Will that open the floodgates if he does?
They have phenomenal performances during the regional playoffs.
Save.
Just
Torsos.
can't quite get them going yet. Off the side, Torsos can clear. The passing play's not going to be available this time. Renegades default and close quite often throughout this series. Freaky for a double tap. That bounces low. Niels Cook with a follow. Zen gets a slight touch. Continued offensive pressure, though. Niels Cook fakes. Turns it around, but Zen's able to cover.
A lot of shots being taken by Veloce when they could be trying to pass the ball either to themselves in a double touch sense, like you were saying, when Freaky was up for the shot, or just offloading with a pass. Actually, Niels almost gets a pass to Kami there. Flame is all over it. Torsos flip reset. I think he landed it, but he gets shut down by Freaky. And that's much better by Renegades. Again, though, the infield pass is getting closed down by Veloce, who seem to have clocked on. They've done well to adapt their defensive strategy, moving up a little bit further, shut down those infield passes. That will leave the backboard open for the time being. Veloce are perfectly okay with that.
Well, the question becomes, will Renegades realize that, and will they start utilizing that backboard? Kami, crucial touch from him, but it does still leave it a very, very risky spot. Veloce, looking like the better team so far since being tied up. Freaky. I think that was an infield option, actually, but instead there's a bunch of mistakes.
Wide open.
Flame can just pop that in bottom corner.
Yeah, Kami was the player here with boost on the Renegades, but he's also gone into the corner for the ball. That leaves Torsos in net with 0. I think Zen also had close to 0. Nobody able to challenge that one, and that's going to be 2-0 Veloce.
Yeah, you're seeing very different defensive styles from both teams. Veloce have been very calm whenever the other team's been around. They're picking their spots. Renegades seem like they're just flailing a little bit to try and get rid of the ball. Yeah,
they are desperate to get rid of the ball there, but Kami didn't have to dive in. You know, he's the player with boost, and you think, okay, well, I can just beat everybody to the ball here, get the clear, but it wasn't really a clear so much as a pass to the opponents. That's how offload to Torsos. It does go wide, though. Then, looking for an infield once again. Kami can't hit the airball shot. Is just not coming together for Renegades. The passes are being attempted. The shots are not coming through.
Off the corner. Oh, double commit and a bump as well. Freaky for the setup. And there's going to be nobody around. Veloce understand. 2-goal lead. They don't need to try and find that third. No need to overcommit. Freaky does leave it. Don't want a second touch from Flame, and they've managed to get that over to the midfield. Zen keeps the pressure on. Just over a minute left now. Renegades need to try and find one, and need to find it soon. Otherwise, they're going to leave themselves requiring a reverse sweep to move on to the next round of the upper bracket.
And that's just going to kill their confidence early on. They are not just looking to finish this tournament in the middle of the pack. Definitely not looking to finish it on day one. So they need to pick up wins in series like this. So far, it has not worked out for them. Not had the finishing touch mainly, and they're a bit too over-aggressive, getting caught out by Veloce, who have been clinical on the counter-attack. Freaky looking to put in a third goal, shut down by Zen. That's an accidental side flip for Zen, fast aerial attempted. But he's feeling the heat now, the panic. Well, probably the pressure, but it could just be the heat. We're out here sweating in Valencia.
Very warm around here. Freaky, gonna force a save from Torsos, but that is more time off the clock, and Renegades, for all of the good plays that they've created, have not got anything for it. And Freaky just pops in another one.
Yeah, Zen looking really disappointed here. I mean, the Renegades have just got to reset. This doesn't matter too much. You're down 2-0. There's, hardly any time left in the game. Third goal doesn't really make a difference here because it didn't look like they were going to score before 0. So they just need to be thinking about game 3 now. Try and focus on what they're doing wrong. Be a little bit more careful with what they're committing to. And when they get opportunities, absolutely make it count. The chances have been there.
Yeah.
Now they just need to take them.
You just get the feeling that they need one big play to come off, and they might start to rebuild in this series. On the other side for Veloce, it's been very clean overall. Not many plays that you just say wow to, but you don't see any mistakes either.
Yeah, they're playing a very composed defense, and mistakes not quite as obvious for them. So they're going to be pretty happy with how this is going. They, like Renegades, are hoping to make a run here. Oh, that's just the open net miss, but it was a bit of a stretch for Zen to reach. That's the last goal coming in for Veloce. Just no boost on the Renegades to deal with that center ball. Panic in defense really causing a lot of problems for them.
Gibbs said on the desk earlier on, 0-9 apparently for Renegades this year. Is it about to be 0-10, or can they turn this around? Now, I do want to point out, Renegades do have reverse sweep potential in them. They took down Icon back in the regional playoffs after being 3-0 down. They turned it around to a 4-3 victory to qualify for the World Championships. But we've already proven that Renegades can play nationally. This is the international stage. Can they do it here?
Yeah, it's just a whole other ball game. Torsos will lead the charge. Of course, he's the most experienced player on this team, like you were saying. But they're up against, although it's an EU RLRS team, they're up against a really high caliber opponent. And the EU teams have given Torsos a lot of trouble in the past.
So here we go. Game number 3. Is it a sweep time for Veloce? Or can Renegades start to build back? Flame taken out immediately. Freaky. Might keep that pressure on, but midfield belonging to Renegades at the moment. They try and find that first goal.
The early aerial contest coming in from Renegades once again. That's what we expect to see from them. But are they going to play this one out safely? Don't want to see any third men take themselves out of the game. Zen into the crossbar again, so close. Not able to hit the target.
Just get the feeling that Renegades need to get this right on the first play. They've not done a great job whenever they get continuous shots on the net. Although this one could go in. Torsos comes through hard on the challenge.
Wow, what a dunk by Torsos. This is a bit risky as well, but he's done really well to come out on the right side of the ball there. Making sure at least if it is going to be a dive-in challenge as last man, that he's covering pretty much any dangerous angle. He gets rewarded with a goal as well, but he's coming in from a safe angle there, trying to do absolutely everything he can to prevent the ball from going straight through it.
Niels Cook to the other side of the field. It's the first time that the ball has seen the orange side of the field in this game. Doesn't last for that long, though. Ball cleared. Kami's already up. I think Veloce know for a fact that every single time they put the ball high, someone from Renegades is definitely going to go for it. They've still managed to keep the ball forwards. Freaky takes his time, misses the ball entirely. Niels Cook's going to come and try and bail him out. Yeah,
like I said, Veloce, they're not challenging any aerial balls that they know they're going to lose the race to. That is important. They don't want to take themselves out of the game unnecessarily.
Yeah, they're more just trying to put the ball up in the air and try and read what Renegades do with it. Been working out for them so far. But Renegades really pushing forward in this game 3. And Veloce not looking as clean defensively so far. A couple of double commits, a couple of bumps. Zen to try and find that goal, but Niels Cook will shut that down.
Tarsos, the only one who's found the back of the net for Renegades so far. Just 1 goal in game 1, 1 game in this one as well. Would be so big for Zen if he can find one himself. Looks for the mind game down low. Like that from Zen, not sitting it up high where he might get dunked on. Playing very safe there, especially with a 1 goal lead. That's what you want to see from the Renegades. Veloce are playing patient though. They know that there's a lot of time left in this game. They're waiting for that Renegades mistake. They're waiting for a clear-cut chance to tie this one up on a counter-attack.
Renegades look comfortable again with their passing plays. They are finding the gaps, worming their way out of defensive situations. Tarsos trying to find another one. I gotta say, despite the scoreline, Tarsos has impressed me so far, at least offensively. He is looking so comfortable with the ball. Well, Niels does get a good clear, and this time Kami's going to play it to his back corner. It gives a little bit of breathing room, but only a little bit because Veloce are going to try and hunt for this.
Not good for Renegades at the moment, though. Like you said, Tarsos is having a great game, making things difficult for Veloce. Just making it difficult for them to get the ball out of their half, even. Good speed, good positioning. And so far, there haven't been any, boost management issues for Renegades. They're keeping up that pace that they started game 1 with. Is it going to continue like this till the end of the game, though, in this one? Playing with a decent chance. It's up high for Freaky. Tarsos there once again, asserting his aerial dominance.
You can see a little bit of confidence as well from Renegades. Previously, just trying to scramble the ball out. This time, Kami waited downfield. Saw his opportunity to be passed to, and he almost managed to get a hold of it. Freaky to Niels Cook. Niels Cook puts it up high. Freaky's gonna have to come in and leave that because Flame put the pressure on. Freaky was on low boost, so it was definitely the right decision to make. But now 1.5 minutes on the clock. Renegades looking for their first game of DreamHack Valencia.
Yeah, it would be nice to see this going further than 3 games. Of course, as a neutral spectator, that's always what you want.
I mean, if there was any game that probably should go to 3 games, it's the match between the 16th and the 17th seed. These are supposed to be as close as we get in this opening round.
Indeed. Renegades approaching the final minute. That's a nice touch by Freaky, though. Tarsos decides to fake challenge his third man. I love that. He slowed down the play a lot, giving Kami time to get back. Oh, no, the miss by Kami, though, allows Flame to score. And just like that, Veloce capitalize on the Renegades misplay.
A game full of only positives for Renegades. And all it takes is one mistake to undo all of that good work. Kami did have pressure on him from another player, but still, didn't really come through for much. And now they need to get this next goal. Otherwise, Veloce will be moving on to the next round. This is huge, Johnny.
Yeah, Veloce looking to completely turn this one around now. Sensing the tilt. The Renegades side. Renegades have slowed down once again. Are they going to be able to hold this one together? It's awkward for Tarsos. He just does enough to scare away Niels Cook.
Niels to Freaky. Freaky back down. It's going to be back over to Zen. Kami off the backboard one more time. He's going to go for a second. Off to the corner. Once again, defensive positioning for Veloce seems to be sorted out in this game. Struggling towards the very beginning, but now taking their time once again. Zen should be first. Playing off the backboard. I just doubt these backboard plays are going to go much of anywhere, although Veloce didn't look too comfortable with that one.
Oh, that's a nice touch by Kami, though. All
Back
of a sudden,
down. Here's Zen!
Zen gets his first goal. And there it is. Kami sets it up with the pop. Freaky out of the game. And it's actually a miss hit from Veloce this time. So Renegades get one back, and that could be huge.
What a time to get it. When it was desperately needed for them to grab the next one. And Zen comes through and blasts it into the top corner. Now they need to get this ball to the floor. And we'll be going to game number 4, but Freaky plays the ball downfield. Once again, Renegades actually committed 2. That's going to be a lot of boost gone for this. Tarsos, the main player with boost right now, he has managed to put it down. Renegades are still alive.
They hold on here after the little blip in the middle by Kami. Zen gets his first goal that we've seen in international competition. To be honest, we've been talking about Zen a lot earlier in the day and how he didn't play well at the World Championships. He is looking a lot more solid today. This doesn't look at all like his World Championship performance. Until now he hadn't hit the target, but the rest of his game has actually been looking pretty solid.
This is actually something that we've never seen before from Renegades. They've got a play style that they usually go with, but whenever they hit these sort of matches, the ones where it hasn't worked out in the opening 2 games, they suddenly go very basic, very fundamental with their style of play, and that's never usually good enough. But they've stuck with it this time around. They've realized that the passing plays have been getting them somewhere. Just a little bit of execution off, finishing off the plays. They've stuck with it this time, and they've got the result.
Yeah, well done. They found that weakness. Cammy actually was the one who popped the ball up in the air there to create the third goal, or the third goal of the game, the second one for Renegades. So he's making up for his own mistake earlier in the game that allowed Veloce to equalize. This is actually where Veloce are going to be most dangerous, though, because they might just decide, right, it's game 4, we're up 2-1, we've got 2 chances at this. Do we just switch up our playstyle completely for one game, try and catch Renegades off guard? It would not be a bad idea to just go full ball chase mode in this 4th game, because there's no way Renegades are going to see that coming after how slow and how methodical Veloce have played up until now.
And if they did want to go for that, they've got the perfect weapon for it. Flame, the Englishman, one of the best mechanical players that we have on the pitch right now. And you know someone like Niels Cook would love to try and benefit off that. Oh! What a flip reset! Torsos has found his rhythm today.
Wow, Torsos. He's already been playing pretty well in offense, but he steps it up a notch. Flip reset, smashes it into the open net after. Veloce are down by 1. What a way to start game 4. Renegades are definitely here to play now.
The execution's going to start going for Renegades. They might be very deadly today. Zen, infield, although I don't think that was quite communicated to Torsos. He was on his way back. Rotate right through the middle as well, which is usually not all of that advised. Zen, Torsos is downfield once again, and Veloce have got to keep their eyes open. If they lose track of Renegades for even a second, they might get caught out.
Yeah, Zen's making some really solid contact on the ball. That's a couple of infield passes flying in. Speaking of infield passes, Veloce hit one of their own and Flame's on the board. 1-1. And it's that man you're talking about, Flame, finding the back of the net.
That is an inch-perfect pass as well.
Did Flame pre-jump that? No.
No, he didn't.
That's up really, really fast.
But he got it there really quick. The pass was on a silver platter for him. About as good as you're going to get from that position.
I'm about to see something wrong today. You'll have to keep me right, Shogun.
Oh, I'm sure we're both going to get just numerous things wrong.
Did not sleep at all just 2 nights ago, so got a great night's sleep last night, but I'm almost certainly going to completely miscall at least something every single game, so I'm counting on you. Keep me right.
See, I'm seeing that less as me having to correct you and more being able to get away with anything I want.
I'll just, every time that we disagree on something, I'm just going to have to say, all right, you're probably right here. I'll let you have that one.
This has never happened before, and it'll never happen again. I will try not to abuse this power.
A nice little pre-flip save earlier there from Torsos, but they're still under pressure. Veloce trying to start the boost and keep the ball over the top of the Renegades goal. I'd love to see Renegades just bring it down and look for a 50-50 in a situation like this. They don't need to look for an outplay. Oh, hold on a second. That's just flooded into Veloce's net. Cammy with a 50-50. He's going to score the second goal.
Yeah, I mean, just beat Niels Cook to the ball. I think Niels Cook figured it out.
Niels decided he had a bit more time than he actually did. Cammy didn't waste any.
That's got to feel good for Renegades as well. After having to work so hard for a lot of their goals, to just get one that you bang from the own side of the field, that's going to be pretty nice to say, okay, these do actually work on occasion. Although that was a very risky passing play from Freaky.
Yeah, it's usually been Renegades making those risky passes. Cammy reads the ceiling bounce perfectly, but he can only hit it towards Freaky at the near post. I'd love to see Renegades just try and sit back a little bit more. They don't need to keep pushing high up the field. Oh, what a pop by Torsos. Great reaction time on that one. The bump as he leaves is going to take Freaky out of the game.
You can already see as well on Renegades, every single time someone plays the ball, they linger just that little bit in midfield, try and give an option to their own teammates that are still stuck in defense. Torsos once again. Ground plays, you know, we haven't seen much. Aerial, Torsos is on it right now.
Yeah, the entire RNG lineup, they're all playing a great aerial game for the most part in this series. They realize that is something that they've got the advantage in. They're going up faster, more confidently, and getting solid touches when they do. But so far, Veloce haven't been too worried about that. They're just sitting on the ground trying to read where the hits are going to go.
Well, at this moment, we're halfway through the game. Still Veloce will go down. And once again, they want to try to go for a pass. Torsos was not going to have any of that one, though. And again, midfield being covered by Renegades. Niels Cook forced to boom the ball long. He's going to steal a little bit of boost. Try and keep this pressure for Veloce. They try and control this midfield. It's straight down. Cammy's going to take his time a little bit. This is not what we've previously seen from Renegades. Took a little bit too much time, though. Veloce, keep that pressure on.
Yeah, Renegades are handling this pressure pretty well. Oh, until an complete miss on an open ball from Tarsos by the looks of things. But yeah, although Veloce have got the ball in the RNG end, they are taking turns going for the ball. No double commits just yet. They're trying to control their boost because they know it's probably going to be limited right now, while Veloce are contesting the back corners.
Oh, that is one double commit, though. This might give an opportunity for Veloce to try and set up, but from Veloce right now is none of it really seems all that aimed. They're going for a lot of backboard plays, but none with the actual intent to find anyone. Just put the ball high, hope that someone's going to be around to put the ball in.
Oh, it might be coming in here. There it is for Flame at the back post. And that had a lot more deliberation. Freaky again, finding the assist. And he aimed it well. Flame with a quick run in. I love that back post approach. He gives himself such a good chance of getting there in time.
And something we're seeing a lot from Renegades, though, is no one's really covering that back post. They conceded one in the previous game as well. Just seems like that person that's just coming in can come in a split second later. So that way they've got a few options. But outside of that, that was a beautiful play from Veloce. And now they were tied up at 2 goals apiece. Yet again, double commit. Flame passes over to Freaky. Kami tries to keep himself moving. He doesn't want to get demoed. Enough time for Renegades to get back into position.
The Renegades need to find a way out of their own end. They've been handling this pressure quite well. That's a decent clear. Tarsos is going to commit for it. Kami alone in the back. That's not a good touch. It's open for Niels, and he puts it in. Niels gets the lead for Renegades, or for Veloce rather. Renegades misplay causes it. And that's what Veloce have trying to be forcing this whole time. You know, they're just popping the ball into awkward spaces and seeing, are Renegades going to deal with this? The answer this time is a resounding no. Now Renegades need a goal, or they're going to be losing the opening match, DreamHack Valencia.
Kami to the corner. Niels Cook keeps the ball in the Renegades' final third, but Kami can clear long off the backboard. Double commit as well from Veloce. Infield from Zen. No, he goes straight for net. Double commit once again, but they do keep the ball out. That is the most important part here. Veloce trying to knock some time off the clock. Flame doesn't get the pinch he wants. Tarsos keeps the ball down the other side of the field, but Veloce are not allowing anything through.
Flame did well there to take over and just handle that ball himself. This is the final 5 seconds now for RNG. They still need a goal. Neil's missing. It's wide open, but nobody's there for Renegades. And finally somebody comes through. Tarsos right there for the shot. Oh, it's saved on the goal line.
It was right
Flame
down the middle. Although
well
Niels
played.
Cook comes through, saves the final shot, puts it down, and Veloce are through to round 2 of the upper bracket.
Yeah, a little bit scary at the end there for Veloce, but they get the job done. And at the end of the day, it's the team with the more consistent defensive performance who come out on top. Renegades looked better than their World Championship performance, but if they want to move on in day 1, they're going to need to step it up a notch. I think that there's just too many mistakes coming in and too many bad decisions, risky decisions from their third man back in particular.
Yeah, absolutely. Those booming clears resulted in 3 separate goals for Veloce. At that point, you've got to know that there was a problem around, but credit where it's due to Veloce. It takes a very level head in that sort of situation to say, we've seen a problem, we're going to capitalize on it, because it was very deliberate.
Yeah, indeed. Veloce going to be looking to build on that later on. We'll have to wait and see how the bracket develops to know who they're going to play. But for now, we're just going to go to a break. We'll be back in 2 minutes with the analyst desk.
Hello and welcome back here to the DreamHack Pro Circuit, where Veloce found a way to get a victory there, 3-1, coming over top of OCE's Renegades. Guys, I gotta ask, was it what we expected coming out from the performance level from both sides of the battlefield here?
I would say not on the Renegade side.
Yeah,
I thought I would see a little bit more from them. Zen in the first couple games, the offense wasn't there. Then we saw Cammy, a lot of mistakes on the defensive side that we don't expect to see from him.
Yeah, I mean, the offense for Veloce seemed a lot more suffocating than Renegades. Renegades had to fight for every single passing play. They had to get crazy dunks. That double touch, the flip reset from Torsos was unreal. But that's what they had to get in order to actually, score a goal. So it seemed like so much more effort for Renegades.
Yeah, and there were a couple of moments where it felt like, open net type circumstance, or at least a very, very kind of set on a platter goal that Renegades was just unable to capitalize on.
Yeah, and now we see, that was the 16 seed versus the 17 seed. Later on throughout this tournament, now the Renegades are going to have to play a much harder, lower bracket opponent to make it out of day one. It'll be around a 10 or 11 seed. While with Veloce, they will get, say they lose later on, then they get like a 20-something seed. So much easier for them now to make it out of day one.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see what we get from them. Turtle, anything?
I was just going to note that you got to be worried about the mental aspect for Renegades right now. We saw Zen at the end of that game look very down on himself and see how he's going to recover from this. It seemed like they're just very low mentally right now and just trying to get the hype and build that and respond from a loss like that.
So this meant everything to them, too. We've seen Torsos, he left college. See Zen, he left school to boot camp to try and get results at the World Championship, to get results at these two DreamHacks that we just haven't seen it so far.
Yeah, I can't help but feel like it's a bit of that plight of when you have so much on your plate and so much dominance within your own region, putting that on the scale of the entire world and realizing that maybe, you're getting distributed a little bit more humble sauce than you like, it can really hurt.
Yeah, it's got to hurt because, again, like at the World Championship, sure, you're playing the world's best. So an 0-2 isn't the worst result, but then you're coming here versus a rival series team. It's a team that you want to beat to show that we still have it, but we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, and here up at the desk here, we're done talking about the Renegades. We got ourselves Veloce's Niels Cook. Niels Cook, how are you feeling there after that victory?
Yeah, I mean, very relieved. I think first match always a bit shaky, I feel like we had our nerves under control a little bit better than them, especially like the first two games. But I'm glad we could get the fourth game basically because they were trying to, or they were coming back. So yeah. I'm happy.
So what is the preparation like when you play a team like Renegades that you haven't really seen before? Do you guys try and game plan around them or just game plan around yourselves?
No, I think we game plan more around ourselves. And I mean, we played really well in our RS and we were just like, okay, well, we need to get that feeling back basically. And because we never played them obviously. So yeah, no, we went with our own game plan instead of trying to evolve it around them.
Yeah, and you guys are all experienced as a roster, especially with Rocket League and just competitive scene in general. And you talked about the first two games, you had your nerves more under control. How does that help you with the previous experience that you have?
I think, it's been a little while, of course, since we played on stage. So, and I don't get that many games on stage anyways.
Yeah. So,
it definitely helps. I can sense that I'm less nervous than, for example, last DreamHack. But hopefully we'll get a couple more games in on stage.
I want to just ask you, you're talking about getting that feeling back, to the vibe that you guys got from the rival series and coming out so dominant. What has that mentality been to try and obtain that? Or what do you think that magic element is that makes that high that we got from you guys out of your performance in the rival series?
Yeah, so obviously, after promotion relegation, obviously we didn't get to RLCS, so... yeah, playing against those RLRS teams is always different than playing against some top-level teams in RLCS. But I think we strategized it just, how do I say this? We have some rotation that we cut in earlier, and if we managed to do that and kept the pressure basically, because our downside I think is letting the opponent play too much basically, and we just try to keep pressure as much as we can on Renegades, and that that worked out a lot.
Well, congratulations there on the first victory. I wish you the best of luck going through all of DreamHack Valencia.
Thank you.
But we are going to go to a commercial break first. And when we come back, we're going to have our next series. And it is a doozy. It is none other than TSM up against Complexity.